Hello, wonderful people. Thank you very much for the support. I really appreciate. My name is Matthew Wisdom, and welcome to YSB Arena. Our tutorial for today is going to capture what you call the evidence of work. As teachers and as facilitators or as educationists, before we enter the classroom to deliver, we have what you call pre-preparation, the preparation stage, and the post-preparation. That the things we do before we go to the classroom, and in the classroom settings, what we do in the delivery session, in the teaching and learning session, and the things that we do after the teaching and learning session too. So we are going to provide enough evidence to the National Teaching Council for them to know what we do in the classroom setting. Now, with the evidence of work, we are going to capture two things. The first thing to be captured is a summarized weekly monitoring tool for 3 years and a sample of learners' exercises that have been marked and graded, and there have been enough feedback or adequate feedback. Now, the first thing we are going to look at is the summarized weekly monitoring tool for 3 years. Now, NTC brought 3 years because our license is subject to 3-year renewal. That's why I have 3 years here. But in this case, we are going to prepare our weekly monitoring tool for 1 year. So each year, you are going to prepare that. Each year, we'll do the preparation. Then the 3 years will be able to cover the entire 3 years. Now, if you say monitoring, what are we monitoring? Who are we monitoring? And who is doing the monitoring? It is the work of the teacher to monitor the students, and it is the work of the head teacher to monitor the teachers and the students, and it is the work of the CISO to monitor the students, the heads, the teachers, and anybody in the school environment. This monitoring aspect of the portfolio building deals with the punctuality of a teacher, and I take it again. This monitoring aspect that NTC wants us to know refers to the punctuality of a teacher, the way and manner in which we go to school, the way and manner in which we do our things. And if we talk about punctuality, we are not talking about going to school early, but rather we are talking about going to school every day and on time. So if school or work starts at say 7:30, the teacher or the facilitator is expected to be at the workplace at exactly 6:30 or 7, so that by 7:30 class start. Now, we have to score 90% of our attendance in each term, and I take it again. According to NTC, all educational workers are to be present at their various workplaces in a term not less than 90%. So, if yours fall below 90%, then in quote, you have to work on that. The weekly monitoring tool deals with our attendance as teachers, and I'm going to show you how the monitoring tool for the year should be done. So this is a sample of the summarized weekly monitoring tool of Mr. Matthew Wisdom, and this is for the 2022 academic year. So attendance summary for first term, and the first term started or began on the 18th January 2022, and it ended on the 7th April 2022. So the format for the summarized weekly monitoring tool is that we have the week, the number of weeks we spent in school or we are about to spend in school, the week ending, the number of times you have been to school, not you as a teacher, but the number of times that we are supposed to be in school. Then you have, that's the times open. Then we also have the attendance per week. That's the number of times a facilitator or a teacher has been at post or has been at work. Then cumulation of attendance, adding the current attendance in a week to the previous attendance. Then in all, then you have to find the percentage of attendance in each of the week using the cumulation of attendance. So I am going to talk about the entire overview, leaving the attendance. I will attend to the percentage of the attendance later. So in first term, I do remember we spent 12 weeks. So we are going to list from week 1 to week 12. So week 1, the week ending is 21st January 2022. And someone will ask, where did I got this date? Now, we normally go to school on Monday and the week ends on Friday. Therefore, the week ends deals with the last day we went to work, and that's the Friday. So the first week we started on the 18th of January, and its week ending will be 21st of January 2022. Meaning, if you add 3 days to the 18th, we are going to get 21. That's the 21st. 3 days because the 18th was on Tuesday, so you have Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. 3 days. Add it to the 18th, you will get 21st. So the first week ending is 21st January 2022, and number of times we went to school was 4, the normal time, and we can find this in our register, not our attendance register, but rather the register of the learners. We have the times open there. Then attendance per week. Take your attendance book and count first week how many times did I come to school. Then you count 1, 2, 3. Then you put there. With mine, I had 4. I came to school in all the number of times open. Then cumulation of attendance. I will just repeat the attendance per week and I'll write it here. I will leave the percentage for now. Then week 2. How would I know week 2? Now in each week we have 7 days. So add 7 days to the 21, making 28. So 28th January 2022 is the week 2. And number of times open was 5. I went to school on all the 5 days, and I'll add this 5 to the previous attendance of 4, making 9. Week 3, or the third week, I'll again add 7, that's 7 days, to the 28th January, and that will give me 4th February 2022. Number of times open 5, attendance per week 5. So I'll add this 5 to the previous attendance of 9, making 14. So in the third week, I was at post for 14 days. Fourth week, I'll add 7 days to the 4th, making 11. So the date of the weekend will be 11th February 2022, and number of times open was 5. Attendance per week 5. I was at post for the entire week. I'll add this 5 to the 14, making 19. Then 5th week, I'll still add 7 to the 11th, making 18th. So 18th February 2022. Number of times open 5. Attendance per week 5. Then I'll add this 5 to the 19, making 24. Week 6. As I said earlier, add 7 to the 18, making 25. So 25th February 2022 is the week ending. Number of times open is 5. I was at post for 4 days, and the attendance book will testify to that. Then I'll add this 4 to the previous 24 of the attendance, making 28. 7th week. The week ending for the 7th week is 4th March 2022, and number of times open is 5. Attendance per week is also 5. So I'll add this 5, that's the current attendance, to the previous attendance accumulated. That's 28. Then I'll add 5, making 33. Week 8. The week ending is 11th March 2022. And number of times open is 4. Attendance per week is also 4. I'll add this current attendance to the previous attendance, 33. Adding 4, make 37. Week 9. And the week ending is 18th March 2022. All I need to do is that I will check my register. Number of times open in week 9 is 5. So I write 5 here. And the number of times I went to work, 5 times. So I'll add the current attendance 5 to the previous attendance of 37, making 42. Week 10. And the week ending for week 10 is 25th March 2022. And number of times open was 5. Attendance per week, 5. I'll add the attendance, the current attendance to the previous attendance, 42, making 47. So on the 11th week, which is 1st April 2022, and that week was the examination week, the number of times open 5, attendance per week 5. So add this 5 to the previous attendance of 47, making 52. And the last week, that's the vacation week, week 12. The week ending is 7th April 2022. Number of times open 4, attendance per week 4, and I'll add this 4 to the previous attendance of 52, making 56. The attendance here is 4 because we normally vacate on Thursday, which is the 4th day in that particular working week. So in accumulation of the times open here is 56. Attendance per week at the end of the 12 weeks was also 56, and the accumulation of attendance 56. Now let me talk about the percentage of attendance, and this is so important because NTC says that we are to accumulate at least 90% of the total attendance for that particular term. So, and I'm able to get 58.25%. Where from this 7.02%? How are we going to calculate the percentage of attendance? Please let's listen attentively. Now, in the first week, the times open is 4, attendance per week 4, and the accumulation of attendance is also 4. So the formula for calculating the percentage of attendance is that current attendance, listen, current attendance over the actual attendance, which is 57, multiplied by 100%, or multiplied by 100. Let me take it again. For us to be able to calculate for the percentage of attendance, we take the current attendance, then you divide by the actual attendance, which is the 57, then you multiply by 100. You get 7.02 per my figures. Then week 2, you take the current attendance, that's accumulated attendance. So it's going to be 9 divided by 57, that's the actual attendance, multiplied by 100, and we'll get 15. Someone called to ask a question on this, and let me clarify this. The person thought they are going to use their 5 here to do the calculation. We want to know how it accumulated, so we are rather going to use the accumulation. And we should bear in mind that this 7.02 is in the 15.79. Why? Because this 4 is part of this 9. Then week 3, or the third week, The attendance for the third week was 14 days. So 14 days out of the 57 days multiplied by 100 will give us 24.56. So week 4, 19 days out of 57 days, that's the actual, that's the times open or the actual attendance, multiplied by 100 give us 42.11%. Then week 6, 28 days out of 57 days multiplied by 100 will give us 49.12%. Week 7, 33 days out of the 57 days multiplied by 100 will give us 64.90%. And in the 9th week, the total attendance then was 42. So 42 out of 57 times 100 will give us 73.68%. Then if we take week 10, 47, so we have 47 over the total, that's the 57 multiplied by 100, and that's going to give us 82.46%. Then the 11th week, is going to be 52 days out of 57 days multiplied by 100, and that will give us 91.22%. And finally, the 12th week, we are going to take the 56, which is the accumulated attendance, then we divide it by the 57 and multiply it by 100, and the result will give us the 98.25%. So at the end of the day, I was able to go to work 56 days, and the percentage that corresponds to the 56 days is 98.25%, which means that the 1 day on the 6th week I was absent 1 day, and that amounted to the infinitesimal number of 1.75%. So this is for first term. Let's check that of second term. So summarize weekly monitoring tool of Matter Wisdom attendance summary for second term dated 10th May. So school resumed on 10th May 2022 to 11th August, and we vacated on 11th August 2022. And the number of weeks we spent was 14 weeks. So the first thing we have to do is check our week. We have to write all the 14 weeks here, then check the week ending as well. That's the week ending. Good. Then the number of times open, 4 days. There was a holiday here, 4 days. We have third week 5, fourth week 5, fifth 5, sixth 5, seventh 5, eighth 5. Then on the ninth week, which was 8th July 2022, there was something happened. Something happened in this country. There was a national strike, and we went to school, or we went to work on the first day, which was Monday, and the other 4 days. So the number of times open was 1, and on the 10th week we didn't go to work at all. So the number of times open was 0. Please, let's be mindful of this. Then on the 11th week we resumed work. On the 12th week, the 13th week, or week 13th, we wrote our end of term exams, and on the 14th week we vacated. Also, on the 13th week, there was another holiday, so making 4, and the 14th week, which is the vacation week 2, minus 1 day, that's Friday. But the week ending is not going to be Thursday, but rather the Friday date will be there. So here, I'll just take the attendance book from the staff common room, and I will check week 1. Then I'll write if it's 4, I put it there. Week 2, if 4, I do same. Week 3, I will be doing the entry up to the final week. Then I will add everything here and put it here. Let's say it's 63. Then I put it here. Then accumulation 2 here will be 63. Let's say I didn't come to school one of those days, so the times open was say 6, 7. So you can do yours. And the attendance, you take the accumulated attendance here, you divide by the attendance we have, which is the number of times open of the actual attendance, then you put it here. Then at the end of the day, you get your percentage here. If your percentage is less than 90, let's say I had 84.96%, it means that I didn't do well, and I need to back up. I need to reflect on this and back up. Finally, summarize weekly monitoring tool for third term. So 13th September was when school resumes, and we are going to vacate on 15th December. So it's the same thing. And I ended on 1st December because that's where this portfolio thing is going to end. So why the need for me to add the 13th and the 14th week? It doesn't make sense. So please, our advice, and I'll urge all of us to do the needful. End it here on the 12th week. If next year we are doing same and we can include this portion, no problem. But even so, even with that one, we are not going to add anything. We just continue with what we are doing. So you use the same calculation as in the previous ones to get your own percentages here. And here too will be the accumulation of attendance. That's it. Then to end, we have something here. You are going to summarize whatever you've done. That makes it the summary, and I think that makes it the summary. So first term 56 times, and we know the number of times was supposed to be 57. Second term, you write it there. Third term, you write it there. Then you write your total attendance. Let's say your total attendance will be somewhere around 148. Then what will be the percentage of it? And then let's say after adding all the times open, first term, second term, third term, we had say 200. That's not the actual figure. Then I will multiply by 100. Then I'll write the percentage here. Now, this is what NTC is going to use. if the percentage here, the total percentage here is less than 90, and I hope you know what it means. If it is more than 90, then good work done. If you have any question, anything to ask, you can get me on 0247607473. And the name I respond to is Matthew Wisdom, the 2022 Eastern Regional Best JHS teacher, your humble servant, and I'm here to serve you well. Remember to like, you share, and then you subscribe, you leave a comment, because your comment is always my life wire. I've been able to come this far because of the love you showed upon me and my team. We say thank you very much. We appreciate the little things you do for us. Continue to like, continue to watch my videos on YouTube, and I believe your life will never be the same in the teaching fraternity. Thank you very much.